September 19th, 2025, Guangdong, China. The sky turned pitch black. The wind howled like a chorus from the underworld. Massive waves slammed into the shore, walls of water as tall as a 5-story building, spraying white foam into the night sky. In a sudden flash of lightning, an image no one could forget. An ancient city, submerged in a rising sea, centuries-old rooftops drifting away like paper scraps. A school bus trapped in the raging flood, dozens of children, wide-eyed and shivering, struggling against the current. A wedding, suddenly torn apart. The bride's white dress stained with mud, screams drowning out the music. Who would survive? And a larger question, is this the beginning of a new era of chaos, where nature no longer follows any rules? Stay until the very end, because what you are about to hear is not just a story about a storm, it is a warning for our future. Typhoon Mitag, the 17th storm of the year, made landfall at Shantou, Guangdong at 1450 on September 19th. Winds near the center, 25 meters per second, nearly 90 kilometers per hour. Waves 6 meters high. Rainfall pounding like a waterfall. In just 24 hours, rainfall reached 300 to 350 millimeters. The amount of rain for an entire month, in a single day. In Shantou, whole streets disappeared beneath water in just 2 hours. Families climbed onto rooftops, clutching their children, trembling in fear. In Puning, the market was swept away in seconds. Cries and screams mixed with the roar of the wind, a symphony of destruction. Traffic lights flickered underwater. Cars floated like empty boxes. Ancient trees ripped from the ground. One video shocked the nation. A school bus stalled in rising floodwater. Children forced to step into the freezing current, their tiny hands pressed against the heavy bus, desperately trying to push it forward. One stronger wave, and they all could have vanished. In Shantou, a wedding collapsed into tragedy. The canopy ripped apart. Flowers scattered. The bride fell into the flood, her white dress now stained with mud. Tears and screams replaced wedding songs. But why? Why did a storm that was not even the strongest become so devastating? Please subscribe to Natural Destruction right now so you won't miss any important disaster reports. Mitag was not a super typhoon, but its deadly weapon was slowness. Moving only 10 to 15 kilometers per hour, it lingered for days, drenching the land, soaking the soil, triggering floods and landslides. At the same time, 2 other storms formed, Bagatsa and Rako. They pulled into each other, creating the Fujiwara effect, a deadly dance of storms. Their paths swirled unpredictably. Rako strengthened into a super typhoon, threatening hundreds of millions of people across Asia. History has shown the danger. In 2013, Super Typhoon Haiyan hit the Philippines. Winds over 315 kilometers per hour. More than 6,000 lives lost. In 2017, Harvey struck the United States. Not the strongest winds, but 4 days of relentless rain. $125 billion in damages. In 2019, Lakima unleashed landslides in Zhejiang. 51 lives lost. In 2021, Henan, China, 600 millimeters of rain in 3 days. The subway in Zhengzhou filled with water. 302 people killed. In 2005, Hurricane Katrina. The levees failed. New Orleans drowned. 1,800 lives lost. If Katrina could drown an American city, could Mitag become the nightmare of East Asia? Impugning, dozens of children, soaked to the bone, clung to each other, still trying to push the bus. Their eyes full of fear, yet none gave up. Imagine, every small step could be their last. In Shantou, a young bride stumbled into the freezing flood. Her father lunged forward, pulling her into his trembling arms. The happiest day of her life became a nightmare. In Hunan, Tan, a 48-year-old woman, fell into an abandoned well, trapped for 54 hours in the dark. Snakes slithered around her, bones broken, lungs injured. She survived by drinking groundwater, and by holding onto a single thought: I cannot leave my mother and my child behind. When rescuers pulled her up, her body covered in wounds, yet she still managed a weak smile. Love had triumphed over fear, and the world has seen this before. Tacloban, Philippines, 2013. Waves as high as a 5-story building. Houston, Texas, 2017. Hundreds of thousands trapped on rooftops, crying for help on social media. Mitag proves one truth. Whether in Asia or America, human beings are fragile before nature. The destruction spread far beyond Guangdong. Zhoushan, Zhejiang highways erased by blinding rain, Jieyang cars abandoned on roads, visibility zero. Hunan and Guizhou, the ground saturated, landslides looming. Offshore, 2,000 wind turbine workers evacuated, 60 ferry routes suspended. If one storm alone could paralyze an entire region, what would happen when 3 storms dance together? Authorities raised emergency response to level 2. Thousands evacuated, schools closed, hundreds of rescue teams deployed. Helicopters roared above, rescue boats patrolled drowned streets, doctors treated the injured on flooded roads. And in the darkness, humanity shone. An old man carrying his grandchild through chest-high water. Young men hauling livestock onto rooftops. Neighbors sharing instant noodles and bottled water. Nature may drown a city, but it cannot drown compassion. Mitag leaves behind 3 lessons. First, water is the silent killer. Not the wind, but floods, landslides, urban drowning take the most lives. Second, weak infrastructure turns disaster into catastrophe. Katrina and Henan are bitter reminders. Third, accurate information saves lives. Do not let false rumors spread faster than the storm. If tomorrow a typhoon strikes your city, what would you do? Do you have an emergency kit? Do you know the evacuation route? Prepare a survival bag with water, food, medicine, and a flashlight. Know where to go, and always follow official warnings. Nature will not wait. We have only one choice. Prepare today, so we don't regret tomorrow. This is natural destruction. If you believe these warnings matter, subscribe to the channel, share this video. Not for views, but to save lives before the next disaster strikes.